Welcome back, I'm Kevin. We're going to talk about the Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon race recap. So we're going to talk about the gear I use, the breakfast that I take, some incident that I encountered during the race, and the race itself. For Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon, this is my target race of the year. But unfortunately, I fall sick on the race week. On the Sunday, I fall sick, and during the whole week, I'm just stay at home and taking my recovery until Friday and go out for my bib collection and for my numbers collection. So during that time, I just lay at home, take my break and take a rest just for the race itself. So for the race gear, the shirts I'm using are Nike Aero Swift BTC white color. Why I'm choosing this shirt? Because we are running at 3:45 early in the morning, so I'm thinking I should get a brighter shirt. I'm using that one. For the pants, I'm using a 2XU pants that I purchased I think 6 years ago and still working good, so I'm using it. And for the belt, I'm using a Decathlon belt so that I can fit around 4 gels at the belt itself. And the shoes, definitely I'm using the Nike Alpha Fly Next version 1. On the race day, I woke up around 1:30 in the morning and having a bowl of oatmeal with honey and a banana and 1 cup of black coffee. This is my go-to standard breakfast every time I having race. This is my go-to breakfast. So around 2 a.m. I walk to the train station, the LRT station that nearby my home. So I wait for the train to the city itself. So the train ride took around 20 to 25 minutes to the city, and I arrived at the city around 3:15. So during that period, I bring together my another piece of banana and a hammer fully charged for my starting of the race. Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon is a premium class of races in Malaysia that everyone would like to join this race. The ticket and the slot will be immediately sold out once they open for registration. But this year they have some slightly disappointed from the baggage, because I met my friend Darren at the baggage area and we took around 20 minutes just to deposit our bag. And the queue is not that long. In front of us, I think it's around 7 to 8 people in front of us, but it took us nearly 20 minutes just to baggage our bag. Because at the area there's only 1 person per counter working to cut the tape, put the number at our bag, put the numbers to our bib, and she need to organize all the luggage, all the baggage that we deposit to the counter. So there's just 1 person to do so many things and so many runners during that time. So we took around 20 minutes just to deposit our baggage. So I think they should improve this area, because 1 person unable to handle so many things, and they're using tape, not using the stapler like the past few years that fasten the whole process. The other disappointment is the entrance area for the pen 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if you see on the map they come out at their website, there's 2 entrances on each of the gates, so you can enter on left and right. But once we reach there, unfortunately the left side is closed. We can't enter from the field itself, so we have to enter from the clock tower, the other side, the opposite of the place that we deposit the baggage. So the only way to pass through is either on the front, on the back, or in the middle. There's the pedestrian bridge. So we did try to go to the pedestrian bridge, but the pedestrian bridge is full with people. You can't go up or down, so we have to run until end of the queue to make a turn so that we can run back to the front just to go into our pen, the pen number 1. So by the time we reach the pen 1, it just left 3 minutes to the starting. So it's a bit disappointed that they just let us go in one side, meanwhile they're showing both sides can go in for that one. After the national anthem, the countdown, and the race just starts. So my friend Darren, he ran quite quickly because he's running around 4-minute pace. So I'm quite slow, around 4:30, so I'm stay a bit further back on the race. So I'm sticking with 4:30 pace all the way through the race before I break down in the middle of my run. So I'm following that pace from first kilometer all the way to the 7th kilometer. That is the place that having my first gel, that is located at the Jalan Bukit Bintang in front of the Lotte. That is my first gel. Why I'm taking at there? Because the next water station is at 10 kilometer at the Klscm area, so it's a bit far for me to get another water over there. So I bring the gel forward to the 7 kilometer, having my gel and have some water to dilute the gel. So at that period, I'm running quite consistently around 4:30 pace all the way to the 14 kilometer. That's the place that when we entry to the Klscm. So that the moment that I feel a bit tired, because on the race week, I fall sick, so I haven't fully recovered. I a bit feeling tired. That's the moment I slow down a bit, and I having my second gel. So my second gel is a hammer. So I having my gel, and then before I starting to pick up back some of my pace and stick with my plan around 4:30 pace all the way. So I reached around 18 kilometer. That's the point that I made up. I able to catch up with the first 3 Malaysian women, Michelle, Tyra, and Emilia. So there are 3 of them are running together in a group. So that's the moment that I catch up with them, 18 to 19 kilometer, and I continue up to my pace, keeping to 4:30 all the way to the 25th kilometer. So during that period, we went through the whole Klscm and go down to the MR2. This year MR2 quite good. The street light is everywhere because the construction is completed. So the street lights everywhere, so it's very bright. And the MR2 from 25th to 26th is the 1 kilometer hill. So I dropped my pace to 5:30 because there's a one very long hill. So I dropped my pace, taking the third gel that provided by the organizer. That is, if I'm not wrong, is Hi-Fi. So I just grab it and I having my third gel. That is everything in my plan. After entering the Duke Highway, so that's the moment that a lot of rolling hill all the way to the 35 kilometer. It's a 10 kilometer of rolling hill. So I'm keep on my pace, even though I drop a bit during that period. After the 26 kilometer, I slightly dropped my pace from 4:30 to 4:35 because I knew I'm getting tired, and I can starting to feel my leg a bit tired on the moment. So at the 28 and 29 kilometer, once I starting to drop the pace, the first Malaysian woman, Emilia, just overtake me and just swoosh by, and that's all. That's the end of story. She just overtake me and she bringing the lead all the way to the finishing line. So for that period, I just run, jog, slowly run, jog all the way to the 34 kilometer where I take my second gel that provided by the organizer too, and I went for a short toilet break. And that's the moment one of my friend, Sham, just overtake me at that point, and he just ran to the finish line and get the Malaysian veteran 5th placing. So after the 35 kilometer, we go down to the Jalan Kuching. That's the part that my legs starting to give up. So that 7 kilometer period, I having a lot of walk, jog all the way to the finishing line. At 38 kilometer, I sat down at the water station having my banana, and I just watched the Malaysia's second woman, Tahira, just overtake me. At that moment, I feel like, oh no, I should keep going, not to rest so much. So I take a break at the water station. I bring myself up and continue the run at the Jalan Kuching. Even though the Jalan Kuching there's a bit slightly up and down, but it's mostly down all the way to the 41 kilometer. So that's the period that I keep dragging myself, run as much as possible. My pace dropping from 4:30 to 4:50 during that period. So I dragged myself to run all the way to the 41 kilometer. When I started to walk up to the flyover, and one of my friend Aran, he shouted at me, "You should run because you just left 1 kilometer." So that moment, I quickly walk up the hill and start running back on the last kilometer. So that's the 500 kilometer. We make a U-turn, and that's a 500 kilometer all the way downhill to the finish line. during that finishing line, there's a lot of people cheering. I think if I know it's a Klscm crew, they're cheering everyone at the finishing line. So it hype up you during that race, and you just run. I just run all the way to the finishing line. Because when I look at the clock, it's around 3 hours 80 minutes. So I knew I already break my record, that my previous record on the Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon is 3 hours 45 minutes. So I knew I break my record. Actually, I'm quite happy at that. I'm starting jumping and I fell down at the finishing line. Just 2 steps before the finishing line, I fell down. Someone recorded it and sent it to me. So that even though there's no injured on myself, I grabbed myself up and walked through the finishing line. So that's a experience on my Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon. It's a very fast route with some rolling hill along the road, and the water station are perfect because after the 10 km, the water station is every 2 km all the way to the finishing line. This is the recap of the Kuala Lumpur Standard Chartered Marathon that I smashed my personal best on the race. Definitely I will come back again for next year. If I able to secure my slot next year, I will definitely will try to break my personal best that I make it this year. So that's all. See you guys on the next video.